Hi, today I want to talk about a very important topic, not for myself, but for my kids, their future. So maybe this is a topic that many people must have been facing currently. It's all about like, you know, what the future we will have, especially what our future will look like. When I say future, not a future for ourselves, but future for our children. So, and maybe the conversation that I'm going to have is all about like AI and like a blue collar job versus white collar job. So the reason why I wanted to talk about is this topic today is that I do not want to make a big mistake for my children's future, especially, you know, uh, when I have this situation. So, as you know, I have had, I have heard the biggest decision that I had, that I made a big decision. I just made a big decision. I have just made one of the biggest decision for myself to be independent for a while. And I quit the job because I will have to prioritize everything to my family, my mother and my brother. So I can't tell you the details yet, but I will have to focus on my energy to the family care. So that's why I have chosen this way. For a while, I will be independent, and my revenue source will be for a while until my business becomes stable. Uh, Only YouTube revenue. I will have to rely on the revenue from YouTube. But that's not the issue. That's not the topic that I want to speak about today. So because of my situation. So anyway, I have several announcements. So please take a look at below the description in this video. So if you are interested in something wants to do in Japan, just click the link below. So anyway, so because of my situation, so me and my wife had a discussion about our kids' future, especially our son's situation. So my son is 9 years old, just ordinary, uh, Japanese kid, studying at elementary school, just uh, just an ordinary public elementary school, and he is in fourth grade now. And then some of you may know the situation. So he has started studying prep school, grammar school, because he one day he said he would like to go to a private junior high. So in Japan, you have two choices: either studying the at a private junior high or just go to the public junior high. So everybody can study at public junior high without any entrance exam. But if you want to study at private junior high, you have to take entrance exam. and the competition has been has been getting tougher and tougher, especially in Tokyo. It is incredible. It's actually incredible. Hmm. Even though Japan has been facing unbelievably, difficult situation of the declining population, especially declining population in young people, and the new baby borns birth rate has been decreasing sharply. Uh, I think before after COVID. So one one example that I can tell you is that, so my son, like I said, he is 9 years old. 9 years old. So 5 years ago, when he was 4 years old, we applied we applied local kindergarten for him to go for him to study at kindergarten. And the competition was really tough, even though, like, there was no like a entrance exam. However, there was a lottery, because demand it was over demand it was over demand. And we have several kindergartens around this neighborhood, and we applied two of them, and we failed. Actually, we couldn't win the lottery, because the capacity one of the kindergarten's capacity was like 150 students, and there were over 200 applications, including us, and we were out of 50. We were within out of 50, but we were very, very lucky. We were in the waiting list, and fortunately, we actually could go we could make it. So in the end, my son could go to the kindergarten from first degree in the kindergarten for when he was 4 years old. So it was 5 years ago. And my daughter is now 5 years old. And actually, the situation became a little bit improving in terms of over and supply and demand balance. So, and it was last year, 2 years ago. 2 years ago, yeah, one and a half years, 1.5 year ago, year ago, we applied on kindergarten, and there was no lottery, and we could enter, and my daughter could enter the kindergarten. So, and because the total population of kids has been decreasing, even in our city. So you have to know that our city has become one of the most popular cities for among the entire Japanese cities, because of the maybe proximity to Tokyo. I'm living in the Kanagawa prefecture, next to Tokyo City, Tokyo. Actually, it takes only one hour commute, accessible, and even we have great natures, like in Kanagawa prefecture, and in our city, we have beautiful beaches. Just from my house, it takes just 10 minutes by drive, and the atmosphere is really good for the family. So recently, my city has been very, very popular from people who wanted to move in to the city, and population wise, it has been growing. despite the fact that entire Japan entirely has been facing the declining population. So it's actually the reverse effect, only happening only in our city. And another example I can give you is that my son is studying a local elementary school, and there were over, I think, 1200人、7、6、6、So I'm not calculating. Yeah, according to the announcement of the school, currently there are over 1,200 students, 100 and 200 students. I think, and according to the school, the number is the biggest in the Kanagawa prefecture. And I think his school must be ranked in top 10 among the entire Japan. So even this city has been facing the declining population. And one of the big surprises is that, after 2 years passed since my daughter applied, I reapplied our daughter's kindergarten, and like I said, there was no competition. It was like a 100% acceptance. And then 2 years later, now it has become oversupply, oversupply kindergarten. So the kindergartens our neighborhood have been facing difficulty in finding students' capacity. So this is a reality. This is a reality. It has become oversupply. Just within, like, since 5 years since my son got into the elementary school, and 5 years after, it 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 has been turning out to be like oversupply. So this is the reality, and we feel like very we see the reality. We see the reality. When I say we, me and my wife see the reality, and sometimes we talk about how situation has been changing, and even like even in very very popular city like the city we are living has been facing, and has been the face has been feeling. So the many residents has been residents all residents have been feeling the reality, where we have seen the severe total, the declining population. So we cannot imagine how people feel in the local cities, unpopular cities, and abandoned cities, and not abandoned, but local cities and countryside. What the situation they have, I cannot imagine. So this is the reality. So, and then one more reality is that, you see, and then sorry, you have to understand my son's situation. Yeah, just let's go back to where I was. So I told you that my son started his prep school, the cram school, because he one day he said he wanted to go to a private junior high. So meaning he will have to take some examinations for entrance examinations, and at least he will have to be accepted at least one of them, one of the private junior high. And then, like I said, in these circumstances, under these circumstances, many most of most of us most of us most of parents actually know the fact that Japan, entire Japan has been facing declining population, and the situation has been getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And yesterday, I saw an interesting article explaining the latest situation of Japanese unpopular colleges. Unpopular colleges, and the, the total number of college in Japan is another contradiction. Despite the declining population in younger age, the total number of the college has been increasing, like you know, and compared to that, like 20 years ago, currently we have like a two times or three times more colleges than 20 years ago. So, and then, however, as you can imagine, many colleges, unpopular colleges in the local cities, have been facing very difficult time to entice students to to be applied to be applied. And many yeah, yesterday's article that I read was that many colleges are now thinking about closing or maybe canceling the new applications for the next year or maybe, and then they are thinking they have to think about and merge and acquisition, M&A, or the integration, and the many colleges are going to face are going to be closed because of the because they wouldn't be able to fill their capacity enough to make profit. And many colleges are now facing the red ink. They are losing money. But the, the, the contradiction has been occurred because of the government incentive. So if you open the colleges, maybe the government will give you some incentives. And because of the incentive, they could make profit. It could be profitable. But with certain amount of the student. But they couldn't do anymore because the maybe the total number of the students will be decreasing, and the situation will be getting worse and worse, and they couldn't afford anymore. So that's why many colleges are now thinking closing their schools. So, and then I heard another story from my wife. From my wife, one of her friends, one of her friend's daughter has been now in waiting list for the cram school for high school, not the high school, in her case, high school. And this cram school seems to be very popular, very popular for for the preparation of the college, college entrance examination. So it's all about, prep school is all about college education, how kids are going to study at the top university, top colleges. So this is all about the colleges and how and then you know the in my case it's in our son's case it's junior high. However, after junior high, they are going to study at other private high schools, and it's all about how to get into the good colleges, good universities. So the final goal for the private junior high, like my son would like to go study, is how to get into the good school and good universities. However, in the reality, and I was working at company and I was in charge of marketing. It's white collar. It's white collar job, and maybe some of you may have witnessed some surprising news from US and China. And I was very surprised to know the fact that many new graduates are now thinking about taking new schools which give you how to make how to become the blue collar worker, blue collar job, like construction field, like fixing the automobile or fixing or I don't know air conditioning or plumbing. So because the future in the future maybe AI well will steal all white collar job in near future. Marketing, financial, IT, engineer, consulting, every white collar job. This is a reality, and it has already happening in the US and China. And many layoffs. Even though my case, my case is not a layoff, and my case is not like a AI related thing because of like I explained, I have chosen this way because of my family matter, not not even like the AI or some AI related. But I have seen big changes in the reality in the white collar jobs, and actually many jobs. Maybe Japan is very softer, very softer than other countries like US or Europe or European countries or China. So or South Korea maybe your countries must be more advanced in terms of the fact that AI has been stealing your jobs in white collar jobs. So and then maybe the situation will be getting worse and worse. I can imagine. I don't know if I should say worse or better because you know the society will be convenient and because of the advanced technology of AI and maybe the future will be safer, easier to do anything because of AI. However, thinking about the job, white collar job, all the jobs are taken by AI. So no, there won't be any demand. There won't be any need, necessity, essential works in the white collar job. Maybe there will be a few very smart guy who will be surviving in this severe situation. However, 99% of people like me will be losing our jobs. So this is really new era. And however, this the conventional way, conventional thinking. You go to the good college, and after college, what is like after college? You go to the good school, you do good companies, big companies, major companies, and where you are supposed to do white collar job. This is the the conventional way, and I thought that many Japanese parents haven't haven't realized the reality, or maybe they have already realized the reality. So there will be nothing after starting at a good college. But why why they still want make their kids to go to like private junior high and private high school and good colleges, good universities in Japan, even though they they do not have any bright future. if they graduate the good colleges, good universities, to become white collar job. Because in the future, there won't be any white collar jobs. So so I would prefer asking, persuading my kid, my son, to become a farmer or like a blue collar job. So meaning that he doesn't have to go to college. He doesn't have to go to junior high school, junior high school, private high school. I prefer he goes to like farmer school or blue collar job preparation school. I don't know if there are many choices in here in Japan. Maybe there are a few choice for the farmer to become farmer or to become blue collar job. However, what is the point? Even future and now all the situations have been changing, and we have been facing the biggest change in the world, in the reality. And maybe I don't know. My wife hasn't not realized the reality, and actually, it is my wife, not me, who will make final decision for my son's future, my son's current situation. If if he says he would like to go to a private junior high, all we can do is just or maybe all my wife is thinking about just support him as much. Yeah, this is maybe I agree with her. I respect that. I respect uh my wife's opinion, and she might be right. And however, think about think about the reality and the facing. You have to face the reality. There's no future. There's no future if he doesn't. My son doesn't know what's going on. The latest situation, what is happening on the blue collar job and versus white collar job, and he doesn't know the situation where AI has been stealing our white collar jobs. And many parents, especially Japanese parents, having to realize the reality, or just become blind, or don't like to see the reality. So that's why just to follow the majority. So people, you know, as you know, one of the biggest trait Japanese Japanese features, I don't know how to say it, Japanese characteristics is that we we follow we follow the majority. We follow the majority. We do not like to, you know, become unique. So becoming unique is not a good way. Was not a good way, and it hasn't good way for most Japanese people. But becoming unique has been maybe very good thing for foreigners and like education in foreign countries. But in Japan, still many people actually follow the majority and do not like to be unique. So that's why currently, if the majority, most many parents think that maybe starting at the good junior high must be the best choice for the kids' future. But this is all wrong. This is really wrong mistake. So I want to fix this mistake. If I can go back, if we can go back, and I don't know. I may be wrong. I may be wrong. Maybe, you know, even though the future in your future white collar job, there won't be any white collar job demand. But still, we have to choose the way the same way we had before. Go to good private junior high, go to good high schools, and prepare the entrance exam of the college, universities, good universities, top universities, and then maybe go to be accepted by big companies, major companies as white collar job. But in 10 years from now on, maybe many people finally will realize that we should have we should have studied more about farmer thing, blue collar job thing, or like a physical job, rather than using our brain. And then maybe we will realize that we cannot compete with the AI. So I think some of you may have realized the situation, and I don't know how many people of you guys can agree with my idea. I may be wrong, but I can't stop thinking about, because currently I have to think about revise my family finance because of my the income situation. So like I said, like explained in the previous videos, I will have to think about and giving up many things. For example, one of the big thing we have to give up is buying a new car. So this is one thing, and another one is stop, prep school for my son, because we pay like 30,000 30,000 Japanese yen every month, like a 200 Japanese 200 US dollar, which is not so expensive. We can afford. However, what the consequence we have after after we push our son to go forward, to move forward to the path to become the white collar job. This is this must be the one of the big mistake. So from now on, I think after finishing this video, what I'm going to do is to look for some good schools to teach you, to teach kids the farmers to be how to become farmer, or how to become the mechanics, how to fix the how to become the handyman. Handyman is, yeah, I think the right term to help people who don't know how to fix the electronics and the home appliances, or like maybe manual labor things, or construction firm. So I think I'm going to look for some good schools. Maybe it's not schools. Maybe becoming immediately after graduating the junior high must be the fastest way to follow the appropriate path to the bright future. But it is obvious that, like conventional way, starting at the good junior high, and after junior high, entering the private good high school because of the preparing the good college or the universities, and after college, go to be accepted to be accepted by major companies, big companies, to become white collar job. It's totally mistake. Totally mistake.